right, I'm going to share my screens. There we go. Everyone. And over here, let me share my screen. All right, so I have both Google Hangouts and the link screen shared. All right, so I put in there a link to a Google Doc. If you're on Google Hangouts, it should be in the the Hangout page, the event page. Let me get them started real quick. I'm going to put this in there too. Let me share that. Okay. So I have, so anyway, so let's go back to here. I have everything kind of in a Google Doc. And you have access to that with all the links and everything. Hopefully that will be a help. I've got questions open for Google Hangout. I have chat open for links. So if you have questions, you can just go ahead and throw them up there, and I will try to keep up with all that. So we are going to talk about add-ons, and add-ons are kind of things that we can do with Google Docs beyond just use them as a Word document and type them out. It kind of makes them a little bit more powerful. But there's some things that are already in there. So what we're going to do is we'll look at tools that are already in Docs. We'll do add-ons for Docs. And then we'll do add-ons for sheets and forms. This is going to be a good mix because it's going to have stuff that beginners can do, and then it's going to have stuff that, you know, people who are pretty knowledgeable of Google Docs can do as well. If something looks too hard, I have it's a huge list, and it's just so you can pick and choose what you think would help you. So the first thing we're going to look at are the tools that are already in Google Docs. Okay. Also, just so you know, there's a chat box down here if you want to chat down here and ask questions as well. So anyway, so here's the tools that are already in Google Docs. One of them is the template gallery. So if you have a document open, you can go right here, you can push file, and you can push new, and then it says from template. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me to this. They're still kind of tweaking the new template gallery, but if you click old template gallery, it's going to take you to this. What's really cool is that there are Jefferson County templates that we've already put in there. So there's some of them that, you know, have shared through teachers or whatever. So you are more than welcome to do that. When you open them, it makes it a copy, so you don't mess up anybody's that it's already there. You can add templates to it. You just submit them. If there's ever a template that you want me to submit or something that you do in Word and you think everybody else would think it was helpful, we can stick them in there. You can save your own templates, and of course there's public templates too that are very helpful. There's a presentation template, there's a Little League roster template. You can go through here and find, okay, I want something in labels and business cards, and this goes on for days, and you can find all kinds of templates in there, and you can search. So I just wanted you, so that's one of the things that are already in Google Docs that we do not have to, you don't have to worry about making. You don't have to worry about add-ons, it's already there. Another one that's already there is called Drawing Tool. This tool will allow you to do word art, create shapes, flowcharts, anything like that. I'm going to click on it just right here because this takes me just to a blank document. And what it does is you can insert, and I have drawing, and I can do drawings here. If I wanted to do, if I click actions, that's where I can do word art. So I can make it really fancy. So we'll do. So we'll put that in there, and you can see that it makes, you know, that's not really fancy, but I can go here, find me a better looking font, and I can change them around. I can make them bigger, smaller. If you notice that it is a ping, so this background is see-through. So if I lay it down on top of something that's already there. You also have arrows, call-outs. These are kind of cool because you can do a call-out here. And you can link them to other ones. If I go back to shapes, some flowcharts here. Then you just kind of click them and you can flow them all together. What else? You got arrows. Those kind of things are in there. You can also do lines. There's a scribble line. I like how this like pops it back so it doesn't look as bad as I think. So if I wanted to write an A, it'll actually pop it to make it look a little bit better than what I did. You can do polylines and make a polygram. I had to make something the other day with a triangle, and I didn't have an obtuse triangle, but that one will do it. And you can, of course, change your color to whatever you need it to be. So I'm still in that. So that is something that's in there that people forget about being in there. You can add an image. You can upload images in there and draw on top of them if you wanted to do something like that. Then when you save it and close it, it sticks it straight into the document. It's kind of ugly, but hey, it's there. So let's go back here. Another one is called Translate. Translate is in here. I'm going to click on an example. I went and got an essay from the internet. It's not a real essay, but if you look at the very bottom, I gave credit to who it is. But I can go over here to Tools. And in Tools, there's a place that says Translate Document. So if I click on Translate Document, it says Translated Copy of. And then it has my title. And I'm going to choose a language. I can choose whatever language I want to. If I want it to be German, I can click Translate. And it was confusing already as it was, and now it is completely German. And that is my translated copy. And as you notice, it didn't do anything to my original copy. So it just made a translation. Now, I can't guarantee it's 100% accurate, but it does a pretty good job. At least gets you started if you have somebody that can make sure it's translated correctly. Another thing it has is called the research tool. So this link just takes me back to here. And I want to show you what research tool. So that's back in Tools. And then I click Research. And this opens up. Right now it has the word name because I was in the word name. Let's try it again. Let's see. I want to look up MLA format. And I'm going to click over here, Tools, Research. And it is looking up things on MLA format. I have there's some information, some pictures of MLA format. If I say, okay, I like this picture, I can go and there's the source of it. So I have the source. I can find out all kinds of information about it. Let's say I want to go down here, Purdue OWL, which is always the best for doing formatting. If I want to say, okay, I want to cite the source, I can click there. And if you notice, it puts a 1 right there. And if I scroll on down, and sorry, my page breaks are together. But if you see at the very bottom of the page, it actually gives it a footer with the source cited. I could also do this. If I'm here and I say I want to insert link, it'll actually put that link there. And there it is. So, which is kind of cool. If I want to make sure, I can't remember if this is what it was that I read about it, I can click it out here. And of course you can't read it, but it at least gives you that preview out to the side if you're trying to check to make sure it's what you wanted. And you can go on down here. And so to me, I think that's a fantastic thing. Right now it's just looking at Google, but I could say I want scholarly documents. And I can actually get scholarly documents. I can insert this as a PDF, but I can insert it as a footnote, and I can find all of this information that way. I can open it, of course, by clicking on it, and it'll actually take me to the web to where this was found in Google Scholar. And Google Scholar is a website that looks through, it's the search engine, but it looks through scholarly things. I can look for quotes. Do I have a quote about MLA format? Nope, nobody likes it enough to quote about it. I can look in the dictionary. I can look up images. You know, if this was about a dog, I could put in dog and it would have images of a dog here. So you can look up, and pretty much in everything, of course, is always there. So it's a very good research source. I think it's fantastic. I wish it was there when I was in school. I know now when I do things, I use it a lot because I don't always cite sources correctly. So back here, that's the research tool. There is also equation editor. I think this just takes me up to that blank document. Equation editor is in here. It's insert equation, and this allows you to use things like a division sign. So if I was in here, I could say 10 divided by 2, and then I can find my equal sign. It should be in there somewhere. Well, I guess I could put, or I could even say it's not equals to 4. I can do that. I can make it bigger if I need to by just highlighting it and putting it in there like that. If I wanted to do a fraction, let's see, I want a new equation, I want a fraction, I can say 1, get back in here, 1/2. And now I have a fraction that's in there. So it's a really cool tool that allows us to do more than just type words as well. So that's equation editor. There's also voice typing. I'm going to go back to this blank document. And I click over here to tools again, and it says voice typing. So click to speak. Hello, my name is Amanda. And it types pretty much what I'm saying. Period. Next line. Ah, that didn't work. I think it's new line. New line. New line. Well, obvious. There you go. There's my new line. It took me a minute. So please stop. So it actually will type. So if you have students that have trouble typing, your younger students, and they want to put something in there, it's a pretty cool tool that, and that's new. It hasn't always been in there, but especially if you have little kids and they're trying to do stuff. I don't know that we need to learn how to type and everything, but sometimes we just need the product and we just need to know what they know. And that's a fantastic way, as well as kids with dexterity problems. That could be really great. So those are just a few of the things that Google already has in there. That's great. We have things like comments. If you notice, I could actually do this and comment over here. And I can click comment and it's going to be over there. I want you to go away. So there are other tools in there, but those are, to me, I think can make things that are pretty powerful. So we're going to go to add-ons and Google app that reads text to students. Those are going to be that's actually, I have it up here. It's called Convert Text to Speech. Is in the name
Tools
of it.
already in Google Docs. Template gallery, find template already created.
Just stop. So it's called iSpeech, and it's an extension. And I don't think we'll have time to get to extensions today, but that is what that's what that one is. It's called iSpeak, and that is actually an extension that we can send out to students. Hopefully, we can get to that today. Okay, so add-ons for docs. So if you're in documents and if you go over here where it says add-ons, yours isn't going to look like this. Yours is going to have a, see, I've got this little thing down here at the bottom. I don't know if I can. So if I click add-ons, okay, somebody just joined the video call. That's kind of weird. I guess they hit but that was private, huh? All right, so sorry. So if you notice it says get add-ons at the bottom, you're not going to have all these because I already do. If you go to, it takes you to like this add-on store that looks like this. Everything is enabled. They're all free. Now, to use a lot of it, sometimes you have to pay for it, but they all are free, and you can add them at any time. So, you can scroll through. There's a lot. I'm just going to show you some of the ones that I think are best. Some of them aren't that good because, I mean, anybody can make them, I guess, and put them in there. Google has to approve them, but some of them I don't think work like we want them to. So I'm just going to kind of give you some that I like the best. The first one is Avery Label Maker. I like that. I didn't know that labels were so exciting until recently, and elementary school teachers tell me they're fantastic. I already had this. I had this one up playing with it earlier, just making sure I had everything. So if I click on this, oh, hello, go away. All right, I'm just going to kind of go up here, and I go to my add-on that says Label Maker, and I'm going to say a new merge. And I want to do address labels, and I want to do 30 labels per sheet. Usually the 51, 60 are the usual ones. And then I choose a spreadsheet that I've already made for it. And I did make one. It was called Labels. Let me find it. Labels. There it is. And I click Select. And what I'm going to do is this is what I have on there in that spreadsheet. And I'm going to say I want first name, and then I want last name. And then on the next line, I want street address. And this little thing down here at the bottom is driving me crazy. Can y'all see that? Yeah, I guess y'all can see it too. And then I can click Merge. And I can say, all right, I want you to open. And there's my thing. And this will actually print off on a, you know, if you have the labels, it'll actually do it correctly. And so you've got to make the spreadsheet first. I had a spreadsheet made. That's why it was, you know, pretty fast to do. But yeah, if you have a spreadsheet made, it'll just zip on in there. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. Back there. I don't know what that sound is. Can you hear that? So let's go back to other add-ons. One is a calculator, and I thought when I first saw that was so dumb. That, hey, Shimmy, can you shut that door for me? Holy moly! I killed somebody. It seems like a machine gun. There's an add-on calculator. At first, I thought that's so stupid, but look, it puts the calculator inside your document. So if you've ever like tried to do something and you have open calculator, you have to flip back and forth to the calculator. This just leaves it open inside the document, and I thought that was pretty. I guess you can't do divide. You can't do 5 divided by something. 6 divided by 2. And so I can do this inside of here, and I can still work. And so I don't have to close or toggle. I think that's one of the good things about this add-ons is that it takes away that toggle. Next one is consistency checker. It runs. It's going to run slow, and I think if I do it right now, it'll run slow. I don't think it'll take up a lot of our time. But what it does is it actually will go through and it'll look for things like, let's say that I was working with a friend on a paper, and he spells a word one way. Let's say that he was from Canada and he spells it color with a U, and I don't. It's going to look for both of those. It's going to look for we, I, the, you know, like if I keep saying we at one point and I at another point, it's going to look for that types of things. It's going to as it runs through the document. Doc to form is pretty awesome. If you use Google Docs and use Google Forms, you can use Google Forms to make a test. Hopefully, I'm going as fast as I can. Hopefully, can get to that. But if you already have tests made, so let's say that this is already a test made, I can actually get it to go into a form pretty quickly. And I just go to my add-ons. That's called Doc to Form. And why does it say help? It should say getting started. Okay. Why won't it let me get started? Usually, Doc to Form. It should have a thing that says run. Let's see if I can make a copy real quick. All right, whatever. File, add-ons, Doc to Form. Aha, create form from Doc. I don't know why I had to do that twice. I can ask for its name. I want my teacher's name, and you can go in and edit that later and make it say like class period. So let's say question 1, I want it to ask this question. So say use selected text. I want it to be multiple choice. I go and I copy this, Control C, Control V. I need to put semicolons at the end of each one. Add question. I'll do 2 questions real quick. Add selected text. So when I show you in just a second how to do tests on here and how that grade, like self-grading quizzes and stuff, know that this is, and you have tests already made and you're like, oh, I don't want to have to remake all my tests. This is what you can do. So I have 2 questions in here. If I click create form, just thinking about it, and I'll say view form. It has made a new one, and I want to see my live form. And there's my form that someone can fill out, that test that's already made. So I don't have to remake it. Well, I kind of have to do some things, but it's a little bit easier to do it that way instead of copying and pasting it all the way across. So to me, I think that's kind of a cool thing. So let me close that. Let's get back to where we were. So that's Doc to Form. Doc tools, these are ways that you can modify your paper. You can change your case. Let's see, go back to here. If I went to add-ons, Doc tools, you see I can like have a selection if there was, and I can make it ascending or descending if I had it in a chart. I can convert numbers to words and words to numbers, all uppercase, lowercase, those type things are in there, and that's a kind of a cool add-on that you can use for that. Easy Bib. Easy Bib is amazing. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to add on Easy Bib. It's like the Easy Bib website. I had somebody tell me the other day, I don't need that because I got the website. Well, this is, there's no toggle, there's no copy, there's no paste. Let's see, I'm using a book on let's say I want it to be MLA. Let's say I used a book. What's the name of a book? Where the Red Fern Grows. I can search and say, you know what? There's Red Fern Grows. There's the book. I'm going to click that. So it is now selected and it's going to be up here. Let's say I have a journal article on coon dogs. I know what they were. Oh, here we go. Arkansas. That's where the movie came from. So now I've got two things in here. If there's a website on search, nope, there's nothing on that. A website on hunting dogs. Search. Oh, I bet I have to have a link. Okay, if I had a link to a website that I used, I'm thinking that's what I got to do. So if I go back to bibliography, though, I've got two things in here, and I can say add bibliography to doc. I'm going to come down here at the very bottom of my page, and voila, there's my bibliography. Now, is it 100% correct? No, but if your students were like my students that I had back in the day, if I could just say that they found stuff on Google, I was happy. And so this is a great way that they can cite their sources. And like I said, there's no copy and paste and all that stuff. Even with EasyBib, the website, you have to copy and paste. Somebody asked me about there is Pro, those type things. You know, you can have a school account or whatever, but it does a pretty good job for free. So let's go back. Next one is GMath. GMath is amazing. I don't know if I opened up a new one for that or not. Yeah, GMath has some pretty cool things. I'm going to click it. Nicole's going to use it next week. Good deal. So if I go over here to GMath, I can create math expressions. That's kind of what I did a while ago. But watch this. I can click this button right here, and I can say y equals 3x plus 4. And now I can insert it in my document. And there we go. I was trying to do haha. Go away. Maybe I should turn my things off. But now I have it in my document. And so now I can put that in. So if I'm using this to make a test, something for math, I can do that. I can also just type it. If I can come over here, I can actually type it in there. Y equals 4x plus 2. And I'm going to use that again. So I'm going to copy it real quick. And I can say, okay. There it is, insert that. And that's a latex preview, which means it can't be like modified. But you could also just type it in. But to me, I think that's it. This is pretty great, especially if you can use fractions and things like that. Here's where you can insert your fractions. You push that in there. And fraction A would be what's on top. So I'd put 1, or I could put 2 over 5. And you see how I put that in there. It's fairly easy to use, which is always a plus. I'm going to close that because I don't want math expressions now. I want to go back to GMath, and I want to create a graph. Yeah, it will help them read correctly. I'll create a graph. They already have one in there. That's beautiful. Let's use the one that let's use one of these over here, though. I think I copied it, didn't I? I can say I want that one, and I want it to be 10 to 10. The Y step just one time, and I can insert it into document. And there we go. There's your chart. So isn't that fantastic? If I can go over here and make it smaller, make it go up by 5. And all about, I don't know what it's doing. Just make a 5. Yeah. And I can insert that into document, and it's going to be, well, I was thinking about it. All right, well, it'll do it. I'm just taking too long. So let's see. And the other thing that GMath does, it does a statistical display, so it will put in a bar graph, things like that. But it'll also do a handwriting entry. So like my laptop, you can actually, like it actually has touch screen. So if your students had one, if you have a Surface, you know, things like that, you can actually put on there 3 plus, I can't write really well on with the mouse, and I can insert it, and it will actually put that in there. So if you had a problem and you wanted the kids to solve it and put it in there, that's a way you can do it as well. So to me, I think that's pretty fantastic. You can't use it. See, it's still beta. You can't really use it in the on iPad yet. So hopefully they'll get that pretty soon. So that's GMath. Giphy diagrams, those are where you can create diagrams and mind maps. Hello fax, you can send a fax as a document. It'll take time to do that. Canva, let's go into that real quick. I was talking to a teacher today and she said it's changed her life completely. So if I can change your life completely, let's go with that. Add-ons, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Kaizena is probably how you would say that. And you can actually, remember I showed you a while ago, you can comment. I am given feedback. Continue. And I can say add someone that's not listed. I could type in an email address of somebody. Let's see Brandy's name in there. I'm going to put the client. Oh, look, see, look at that. I can do that. And I can continue, and it will send her feedback. So if I come in here and I say, you know what? It's talking about how this is, I can say, okay, need feedback. And I'm going to talk. And I'm going to start recording. Hey, Brandy, when you're doing this, you see how it says New Times Roman 12-point font? This is actually Arial 11. So if you could fix that, that would be great. Thanks. And so that'll process it. And Brandy's going to get a message that says that, which she's going to, if I shared with her this, she can have that message in there, which is kind of cool. And so you could actually sit there and give kids comments and feedback on their work with that. Kayans is a website that you can use that actually has conversations back and forth with kids. It's one of those that I think you have to be 13 to use on that end for your kids to use. But if you have permission, you're good to go. And you see where it says enter a skill? You can actually put skills into their website and like go with your course of study and those kind of things. So I think it's kind of cool. And so like if you were on the using end of this, you would hit that highlight and you could actually, it would actually read to you. And this teacher I talked to today, she said, here's my feedback. Hey, Brandy, when you're doing this. Okay, so you can see how it'll do that. And the kids said that they, for the first time ever, they're actually not ignoring the teacher's feedback. And so if a kid can say that, to me, I think it's a pretty cool deal. So back to Google Docs. CUDA barcodes, that's going to insert a QR code. I'm just going to use it in this one. Add-ons, start. So if I put, I want a barcode, I want it to be a QR code, I can scroll down, QR code, and I want it to, I can make it say stuff, I can make it do whatever, I can say www.coed.com, and I can insert it, and it'll put that barcode, and it'll put it in there. So I think that's kind of a cool thing. Lucid Charts is kind of like Glyphy. What you're gonna do is you're gonna be able to put mind maps that are pre-made in there. You got to make these ahead of time. Pro Writing Aid is going to look for plagiarism, consistency, cliches. It's going to look for people that say and like 1,000 times. Spellwrite is really cool. It will go through and look for, it'll spell check using, you'll do spell check using like looking for like syntax and stuff for students who are ESL. So it's really supposed to be focused on students who are English as second language, which I think is cool. Styles will just change your styles up. There's table of contents in here. It'll actually make a table of contents for your paper, which is kind of fun. Text help study skills. If I'm on here and I say add on text help study skills, show highlighting tools. I have the free version, so I can only do in yellow. But let's say I want to highlight this, and I want to highlight that. So let's say I'm studying, and these are the things that I know are important. There we go. And I can say collect highlights. And I want to be in a document. Let's see. Let's do it by document position. And I say collect highlights. And it's got a new document. And that document just has the things that I highlighted. It's got the stuff that I had in there because that I sent earlier. But yeah, you notice it just has the things that were highlighted in there, which is kind of cool. especially for kids who are trying to study, and it's just way too much information. Sometimes on computers is hard. Uber conference. Actually, I'm going to do that in here. I can do this. Since you guys are in here, I can say Uber conference sidebar. And what it will do is it will allow, oh, please wait a bit. I was doing it yesterday. I double checked it to make sure all this stuff worked. Okay, maybe it's not because I'm already on Google Hangout, but what it'll do is it will allow people to call in. It'll give you a phone number with a code, just like if you've ever done one of those webinars where you have a phone number with a code. If you're on LinkedIn, you saw that there was a phone number with a code. It'll do just like that. And so it'll have, people can call in. You can actually have a teleconference right here inside your document, which is kind of cool. URL shortener, if you go add-ons, if you notice, like if you were sharing this document with somebody and you were sharing the link, that's a really long link. I'm a Bitly fan, but this is just as good. I can click that. I can get document link, and voila, there's my short link. That's a lot better than that right there, in my opinion. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. Can students choose add-on? Yes, the students are not restricted to get add-ons in here. They are totally open for everybody. I was teaching a class last year on how to do it, and they were eating up these add-ons. They were telling me which ones were cool. So we're at the 30 minutes mark, but I have some that are left. So I guess if I go over, y'all cool with that? I'll go quickly. It'll be recorded, those who have to go. I thought I could get it all in that 30 minutes. I don't know what I was thinking. But add-ons for sheets and forms, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you these. This is kind of cool, so I'm going to go to a new form. And so I just have quiz for math on here. I don't have anything started. So if I was making a test for my students or whatever, I can go in here and I can actually say, okay, I want my add-ons. And I want to use that GMath. Remember the GMath earlier? And I can create math expressions in here. So if my question title is solve for X, they have down here, they have one already kind of typed in, and I can insert it. And if you notice, there's solve for X, and there's where they put their answer. And they can put their answer, and it automatically puts it in the spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you some things that'll help you grade those later. So yeah, and I could actually go in here and say, okay, you know what? I don't want that to be, I want this to be multiple choice, and they have choices of answers. It could be 6, it could be 9, done. And then when you give this to your students, they will see that. Solve for X, and then they're going to answer it, and then they can submit it, and it'll go to a spreadsheet. I do this, whoa, stop. If you haven't used forms before, it puts it straight into a spreadsheet. If you notice, there's nothing. So, so yeah, that's kind of a cool thing, because before you couldn't put all that in. It also has, it don't just have math expressions, it also has, you can put a graph in there. You can put statistical display. Allow form responders to use GMath to craft responses. So if I deployed that, they would be able to, use GMath to put in, submit the things. So that's kind of cool. Let's see, let's go back here. Form publisher. Oh, I have the wrong thing right here. This is make copy of form submissions. So if I click on here, an example of a form. Ooh, yeah, take out a trash. I didn't realize I had that in the trash. Sorry, I have like so many of these made. Okay. If I go and say add-ons, I want form publisher, get started. I want it to go into a document. Create one with my questions. No, please create one. So what it's going to do is that as somebody comes and answers the questions, I think it's working on it. If I go to the live form, Hey, and Carrie, I'll have it's recording, so on that YouTube link, you can look at it, read it, you can watch it at any time. Okay, so they can go in, and once they submit this, it'll actually send a form with the question and the answer they put in there. It doesn't grade it or anything like that, but it will give them immediate feedback on it. The next one is Choice Eliminator. This is kind of cool. What it does is that it will take away one of your choices. Man, I put everything in the trash. So if I go to Add-ons, Choice Eliminator, Start, I can go in here and I say, okay, I want these choices for dinner. And I can say everything gets one try. So save, but over here for the other items, let's say that I need a couple of people to bring sweet tea, not just one person to bring sweet tea to my dinner. So we'll do 3 of those. I want 2 people to bring Coke, and I need 3 people to bring ice. And so what it does is that when we start this, I think it's good to go now. I think I got it all. When I go to the live form, if I put in my name is A, here we go. Let's say I'm going to bring sweet potatoes, and I'm going to bring sweet tea, and I'm going to submit. And then I'm going to reload the form because did I not put sweet potatoes as one time? We'll see. Let's go back to the live form again. It won't let you read. That's what it is. Say sweet potatoes are gone because I only wanted it. I only let them. Yeah, leave that page. I only let that go one time. But sweet tea is still there because I said 3 times. After somebody chooses sweet tea 3 times, that one's gone. So if I put in pasta salad this time and submit it, now I'm going to do napkins because only one of them. Submit it. Then I go back here to go to live form. Like I said, you can't reload it. But see now that's the pasta salad's gone and the napkins are gone. So it makes them go away. So if you're trying to put together plan things like that, that's a really cool one. Another one they have are app sheets. This right here will actually take the form and actually make it into an app. I can't show you the app because it's on my iPhone, but it'll actually make an app and it'll have a drop-down box, which is kind of cool. Form limiter will actually set up a time or number of submissions for a form to be closed. So if I say, okay, after 3 o'clock today, I don't want any other kid taking this test, I'm going to close it off. And it'll do that. Autocrat. Let me show you Autocrat from this end. I don't want, if I show you Autocrat, what it does is that it will take, I took a form and said, like, this was my inventory for the end of the year. And then I ran Autocrat with it. And what I did is I went and I had to go in, and it's very complicated. I will go ahead and just tell you that. And I have a video for it, and I'll put the video back into our form that we're working from. So if you save this as yours, you can always go right here. You can, well, I guess you can bookmark it or whatever. But you can go in here and I'll put a video on it. And it's actually on our instructional technology page on how to do walkthroughs is what I called it. But and what it does is it actually will send out this template right here. I have these codes in here, and it will, if I run it, here's one of the documents. So here's Adam's bills inventory, and so it used those tags right here to do like a mail merge. And when they submitted it, it sent this to an, and if I had their email addresses in there, it emails it to them immediately, which is, I think, brilliant and fantastic. Back to here. I know this is a lot and I'm going fast. Flubberoo. Flubberoo is amazing because Flubberoo will let you grade tests. So let's say that this was the test. That was remember that test that I kept showing you with questions earlier? So here it is. If I went over here and I said, okay, I want to use my add-on, Flubberoo, I'm going to enable it. It's going to pop up and tell me to use it now. Then I go to add-ons. We're going back here again. Flubberoo, grade assignment. One of the things you got to do is you have to take the test yourself. I'm going to tell it each one's worth 1 point. It knows that these are identify the students. And I click continue. And then I'm going to tell it that test key is my test key, because it's asking where my answer key is. So you have to take it once yourself. And then I click continue. And you see down here at the bottom, it opened up a new tab. And with this tab, no, graded complete, thank you. This tab, if the kid's read, I know they made it below a D. How about if they made below a 70, they turn red. So that means that they probably don't know the stuff. If they're red, I mean, if they're black, you see that they made 100%, or, well, they made above a 70. These questions got missed the most. If they're yellow like that, and I can see what percentage knew the answers to those questions. So that's pretty, to me, pretty cool. I could also, you see how I put email address in there? I can go here to add-ons, Flubberoo, and email grades. And that will email it. You know how, like if I did a test on here and parents want feedback on it, you can't really do that. So this will actually email the grades, and it'll actually send them an email. It's working on it. Email address, and I can put in there the questions and the score. I can include the answer key if I want to show them, and I can actually include a message and push continue. And it will give them feedback. I'll open up my email so you can see it while it's rolling. So that says there's 9 grades. My phone's going nuts because I got 9 emails. And here we go. Now I can see what I got right. I can see what I got wrong. And so you can go through here, you can see, and then it'll show me my grade and everything like that, and it automatically does it. I don't recommend always give tests in multiple choice, but if you do, there you go. You don't have to do any kind of paper, and kids could take it from their Google form. All you've got to do is send them the link to the form, the live form. You send them that link, kind of like I did earlier with this one, and they can take it from there. There's mapping sheets. I want to show y'all this. This is cool. Remember I asked you your name and your school, let's see, first name, your school name, and the city and state. I don't know if BHAM will work, but we will try it anyway. We'll add on, and we will say mapping sheets, start mapping. Let's do school name as our title. And that's my location. Build. So this is really cool if you're teaching parts of a map. You can put in a bunch of cities. You don't have to do it in a form. I just had it in a form. That way I could collect it pretty quickly. And if you notice, it's going to take us, whoa, let's zoom in. So I think BHAM threw it off. But as you can see the different places, the different cities. Isn't that cool? So if I click on here, it does my timestamp, but look, there's Claudette, and Hueytown Elementary is the title. That's where it's located. There's your Centerpoint High. Devlin, if there's more than one, I think it will put everybody in there. I'm not really sure, but pretty cool. And I don't know where all the BHAMs went. I think it kind of got confused, but I didn't know what it would do either. But okay, so back to that. Split names. If you do a test for students, you need to do first name and last name as 2 separate things, so you can put them in alphabetical order. But if you don't, and you accidentally just put the names together, you can go over here, add on, split names, start. You can tell it I just want first name, last name, split. There's your original, there's your first name, there's your last name. JB, he knew it confused them. But other than that, it kind of split them up. So if you have, so if you forgot to do the first name, last name, and you want them in alphabetical order, and you can't because it's by first name here, there we go. Now it's in alphabetical order. So I think that's kind of, I've used that a lot. Copy down. Copy down is really cool. What I do is I take the formula. Normally on a form, when you submit stuff, if you have something already typed in here, it goes below that. But with copy down, it'll actually work. And I can put in here, and I'm going to put average equals from here. So is that C2 colon F2? And it should be equals average, shouldn't it? Go. It knows that I'm finding an average of that, so it found the average. So I can go to add-ons, copy down, it's G2, and turn it on. formula row. That's what I want right there. Save settings. So now when I submit a new form, before then it wouldn't do anything. But now if I do this, I'm going to say he made a 67 and an 89 and a 90. He's all over the place. Then he made an 80 on his project, and I click submit. Please work. Aha, it copied it down, and now I have his average in there. So it'll average things. I mean, you can use any kind of formula, but it won't just pop things under it. It'll actually copy down that formula. You do get that mess over here. But before, if I didn't have copy down on, it wouldn't have done that. I've been using that a lot lately as well. Just anything that'll make my life easier, your life easier. Lab scheduler is kind of cool. You can schedule rooms, labs, library. You know, if you have an open computer lab, something like that, you just click add-ons. Ooh. Lab scheduler, add lab, computer lab. Let's do it for the next 50 days. Add period. We got first period. We got second period. We got third period. Let's just go with block schedule and have 4. We can add labs. You could put times in there as well. If you want to. And so now we have days, and somebody can say, oh, I need it during second period. There's my name. You know what? I'm going to use it second period every day this week. And I'm just going to put my name in there every day. And so this kind of is a lab schedule. You share that with your whole group. I can share it with an entire school group. If I was on here and I wanted to say, you know, if I wanted to share it with when I was in school and I want to share it with everybody, I could do that, and everybody would have access to this form. And that would be so much easier in a place where we can all look. And last one is the random generator. So let's say that this is my class. It's not a lot of people. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to choose all of it. I'm going to say add-ons, random generator, start. And I don't need integers or anything like that. I'm going to go over here to custom list. This is, I'm on a new list. It's going to be from A1 to A6 because that's my kids. I'm going to call it students. Okay. The students is used, and I'm going to click over here and I'm going to say generate. Zach. So I could call on my students this way. We could put this on the Promethean board. I can push that button and we can say, okay, this is who's going to answer my questions. So that's kind of cool, especially if you, you know, are calling on students and things like that. So those are some of them. There are a lot more that are out there. As you see, I've got tons up here. Twitter curator, I can actually pull up a hashtag and I can just start putting them in. That would be really cool during election season. There's a thesaurus. Translate will just translate a small part, so you don't have to make a copy of all of it. Speech recognition, that was before it actually had speech recognition in there. Like I said, there's a lot here. PandaDoc lets you the signatures. There's a page layout tool. Some of them I don't really care for. You can manage and take them out. I just hadn't yet. So those are in there. Other ones that are on here, calendar event importer. If you have calendar events that you want to import into here, you can do that. Sheets to calendar, unfortunately, doesn't work well. I was hoping it would for the lab scheduler. You can merge values on here. You can merge sheets. If you have 2 sheets and you want to merge them all together, that'll actually do that. There's template galleries in both of these that are really great, that kind of have templates already made, calendars made, lesson plans made that you can use. You know, we did split names, but where is it? Power Tools will have split names. You can remove things, you can clear. There's find and replace. So there are other things in here. Doctopus, man, if you are awesome and brilliant, Doctopus is great. You use Doctopus with use Doctopus, and there's another add-on in here. I have it. There's another add-on that will go with Doctopus, and actually when you open it up in Word, you could actually have a rubric across the top of your screen as you grade. I have yet to have the time to sit down and learn how to do that one. It totally blows my mind. But it's pretty cool if you can get it to work. So like I said, there's a lot in there. There's a lot to play with. You can just go and do add-ons. You know, you're asking questions about other apps. There are other apps out there. These are all available to kids. They can get them, anything like that. You have any more questions? None. All right. This will be on the YouTube page. It will take it a few minutes to process or whatever. You can always get it from that link that I sent out. That was start video. No, please don't start video. Uh-oh. You can always get those links, share them with your teachers if you think they can help them. I can always come and help and do during their prep times or whatever. So I'm going to stop broadcast on Google. I see Nicole is typing over there. Okay. All right. So if y'all need anything else, y'all let me know. I'm always around.